Ready? Ready, bodyguards?
Yeah, whatever.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the last Wesley of the semester. This is our traditional worship on the lawn at the end of spring semester. This week, obviously, we're doing it virtually. And if you haven't had a chance to experience worship on the lawn yet, I guarantee you it'll be a lot different next time. Let's get ready to worship. Is that good?
Yeah.
Jesus was born, and an angel told both of his parents, who weren't married at the time, that this was going to happen. There's going to be a boy child coming. He's the Son of God. Well, they just went with it. He was born in an unlikely place and under unlikely circumstances. This was to show what kind of king he was going to be. He grew up and he learned a lot. Then, when he was 13, he went with his family into Jerusalem for Passover. It's a celebration of when God chose the Jewish people. It was a big deal. A day after, when they left, his parents realized he wasn't with them. And Mary said, "Oh, beep! Where the beep is he?" 3 days later, they found him in the temple, laying down some wisdom to the elders and teachers. Mary said, "Why the beep? Would you worry us like this?" Jesus replied, "Where else would I be, other than my Father's house?" 20 years later, Jesus went to get baptized by his cousin John, who looked kind of like Bigfoot on steroids. Jesus said, ooh, do me next." John said, "I'm not worthy," because he recognized Jesus was the Messiah. But Jesus then reassured him, "This is what you are supposed to do, so everyone else will do it. Now do this." So, John did it. When Jesus came up from the Jordan River, gasping for air, because John liked to hold people down under there a good long time, the Spirit came down like a dove. And God's voice said, "Yo, this is my son. I'm pretty happy about it." And by pretty happy, I mean, I'm really happy about it. Immediately, Jesus went into the wilderness to do some thinking. But the old devil crashed Jesus' thinking party. He tried to make Jesus lose focus on his mission by tempting him with a bunch of goodies that the average Joe would have loved, like chocolate. But Jesus ain't your average Joe, Hova. The devil wanted Jesus to join his side, but Jesus said, "Not today, Satan, not today."
Jesus knew to accomplish his mission of spreading God's love, he would need some help. So he asked some regular, ordinary people to help him out, and all 12 said yes. These guys were known as his disciples. One day, Jesus went up on a hillside where the acoustics were awesome. It was better than Red Rock in Colorado. He taught people how to treat others and about the blessings God had given them that should give them joy. This was known as the Sermon on the Mount. He left that place, and a little later on, he taught people using stories related to their daily lives that would make a lot of sense to them. He talked about farming and fishing and family and people who were different from them. These were known as parables. He walked all over Judea and Galilee, teaching people and performing miracles. Giant crowds followed him around. It was exhausting for him, but he did it anyway. He did stuff like helping blind people see again, healing people who were sick, and turning water into wine, which people really loved. Can you do that one again?
There were a lot of people that Jesus hung out with and helped. Others thought these people were lowlifes and not worthy of anything special. One time, he stayed at a tax collector's house, which no upstanding citizen would do. Another time, he made friends with a woman who was a little loose, if you know what I mean. Then there was that time he taught Nicodemus, who should have been his enemy, what it meant to love God. By now, Jesus was a big threat to the teachers of the old ways. They felt they had to find a way to do away with him. When he came into the city, people praised him, but by the end of the week, people were yelling, "Crucify him." Why would they do that? They realized the leaders were out to get him, so they turned on him because they didn't want to be got also. The religious leaders had him killed because Jesus claimed to be the Messiah, which to them was illegal. But boy, were they in for a surprise. After Jesus died, some friends put him in a cave grave. 3 days later, they went back to check on him, and he was not there. While his friends were bawling, some dude showed up and said, "What you bawling about?" At first they thought he was a gardener. Then they realized it was Jesus in the flesh. He said, "Go and tell everyone else I'm alive." After a while, 40 days to be exact, he showed up at different places to different people whom he loved. Commissioning his disciples to continue his ministry, he felt good about leaving on a cloud to go be with God. Poof! So, what do we do with all of this? We have learned from womb to tomb plus 40 days that Jesus changed the lives and thinking of every person he encountered. He taught people to treat others with kindness, what real blessings are, and to stand up for what they believe in. There were lots of people who were angry with him because he lived and taught a faith radically different than what they knew. Others experienced hope and love from knowing Jesus or hearing about him. We can be those people too by living out our faith, putting our words into action, and making love a verb.
Got one more for you guys tonight, so please sing with us. Sing, hold it together. Hold us in, my bad.